It's a good bounce back win for us today. I thought we started the game with the right tone on the defensive end. And so that was that was by design for us to get back to.
Behind closed doors at Team USA, a storm was brewing, a story nobody was supposed to tell. But now, the truth is out. Coach Cheryl Reeve confirmed what fans had been whispering for months. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese didn't just clash, they actually fought. And what unfolded next shocked the entire basketball world. To understand why this fight mattered, you need the full story. Caitlin Clark, the rising star from Iowa, shattered scoring records, turned arenas into sold-out events, and brought casual fans back to the WNBA. Meanwhile, Angel Reese, coming from LSU, a national championship winner and Final Four sensation, commanded her own spotlight, brand deals, and fan base. Two personalities orbiting the same spotlight in the same rookie year, destined for collision. From the very start, tension simmered. Slight collisions on the court, subtle trash talk, and media narratives all painted a picture of impending conflict. By the time the 2024 Paris Olympics selection process rolled around, the stakes were higher than ever. Clark initially left off the roster, sparking outrage and accusations of politics. Reese's absence was quieter, yet her presence in the conversation intensified the spotlight on Clark. Every foul, every stare, every point was analyzed and debated endlessly online. Olympic preparation camps are grueling. Coaches fight to balance egos, competitive drive, and team chemistry. But when Clark and Reese were placed in the same room, a literal powder keg was created. Reports now confirm practice sessions heated up, verbal confrontations escalated, and for a moment, competition crossed into something more personal. Cheryl Reeve, a seasoned coach, confirmed they actually fought. Now, let's be clear, this wasn't a full-scale brawl. Professional athletes in controlled environments rarely let it reach that point. But even a brief physical or verbal altercation leaves a mark on team chemistry. And the language used by Coach Reeve was deliberate. Actually fought, a phrase that immediately set the internet ablaze. Fans debated endlessly. Who is the aggressor? And what does this mean for Team USA? The reactions split sharply. Clark supporters celebrated the confirmation, arguing Reese's competitive intensity was part of a toxic environment fostered by coaches. Reese supporters countered, saying the same fire would be praised in men's sports, but pathologized in women's basketball. Across Twitter, Instagram, and sports forums, the debate raged. Every video clip, every quote, every moment was dissected by fans and analysts alike. This isn't the first time either player has made headlines. Reese has previously sparked debates with on-court celebrations, pointed gestures, and social media posts that went viral. Clark, on the other hand, became the face of WNBA attention, often drawing comparisons to legends and bringing mainstream coverage that overshadowed peers. Their paths, crossing at Team USA, were destined for conflict. So, what does this mean moving forward? For Team USA, chemistry will be tested, and coaches must navigate egos and expectations carefully. For the WNBA and women's basketball, it highlights the intense spotlight on rising stars, and the scrutiny they face is unlike anything seen before. Upcoming events, including Team USA interviews, exclusive media appearances, and the Olympic Games themselves, will reveal whether this rivalry strengthens or fractures the team dynamic. The truth is, basketball is more than points and rebounds. It's a story of ambition, rivalry, and human emotion. Clark and Reese may have fought once, but the larger battle for recognition, legacy, and dominance in women's basketball has only just begun. Will Team USA emerge stronger, or will tension threaten the dream? The world is watching, and we'll be covering every explosive moment. The explosive clash between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark has sent shockwaves through the world of women's basketball, creating a storm of controversy, media frenzy, and fan obsession that shows no signs of slowing down. And the story is far bigger than any single game or Olympic selection. It is a collision of personalities, talents, and legacies that has been years in the making, a perfect storm of competitive fire, cultural significance, and the relentless pressure of being in the public eye. At the highest level, Caitlin Clark, the unstoppable scoring machine from Iowa, whose meteoric rise redefined what a player could achieve at the college level, has become the face of a generation, shattering scoring records that had stood for decades, captivating millions of viewers with every three-pointer, every step-back jumper, and every fearless drive to the basket, turning ordinary arenas into electric, sold-out spectacles and drawing casual fans back to the WNBA with a magnetic force that few athletes, male or female, have ever commanded, creating not just headlines but a cultural movement that has reshaped the conversation around women's sports in America. Meanwhile, Angel Reese, a national champion from LSU, is the embodiment of raw power, confidence, and unapologetic dominance, a player whose moments on the court, including her infamous ring finger gesture at the Final Four and her viral celebrations, ignited debates about respect, representation, and the evolving image of women athletes, proving that she is not merely a player but a brand, a personality, and a force capable of commanding attention in her own right, challenging not only opponents, but the very narratives that surround women's basketball. When these two worlds collided inside Team USA, behind the closed doors of Olympic training camps, what was supposed to be a disciplined, unified environment for elite athletes turned into an unprecedented spectacle of tension and raw emotion, and the confirmation from coach Cheryl Reeve, an authority with decades of experience and unflinching honesty, shocked the world. They actually fought, in a literal, undeniable sense, marking a historic moment where speculation, whispers, and viral online debates transformed into verified reality. The intensity of this confrontation cannot be overstated. It is the culmination of years of media coverage, social media feuds, contrasting personalities, and overlapping narratives, from Clark's meteoric rise and record-breaking scoring streaks to Reese's championship pedigree, fearless style, and unapologetic charisma. A history full of past controversies, viral moments, and pointed social media exchanges that created the perfect conditions for friction. Every eye in the sports world has been drawn to this dynamic. Analysts debating motives, fans dissecting body language, former players weighing in on the intensity, and journalists tracing the subtle buildup of tension over months of practices, games, and media appearances. The implications are enormous. Not only does it redefine what it means to manage elite talent under extreme scrutiny, but it forces a reckoning with how women's sports are perceived, how rivalries are framed, and how competitive fire is celebrated in men's sports, but often pathologized in women's sports, sparking broader debates about fairness, bias, and recognition. With the Olympic spotlight approaching, every practice, every interaction, and every media statement has now taken on amplified significance, turning what was once speculation into a narrative that the entire world is watching with bated breath, desperate to see how these two superstars, each a generational talent in her own right, navigate the aftermath of a confrontation that has now become historic. In short, this is not just a fight. It is a seismic cultural moment, a collision of personalities, ambition, media scrutiny, and public expectation that is as fascinating as it is explosive, a story that will define the trajectory of both athletes, dominate headlines for years, and become the benchmark for how rivalries, media, and competitive intensity collide in the modern era of women's basketball, leaving fans, analysts, and casual observers alike on the edge of their seats, glued to every clip, tweet, interview, and statement, wondering what comes next, and ensuring that every moment of the saga, from past confrontations to viral social media reactions, from championship glory to Team USA tensions, will be dissected, debated, and remembered as one of the most compelling and unforgettable stories in the history of the sport.